So the MRL is quite new. It was formed in October of last year, 2017. As I mentioned, it involved the merger of two pre-existing centers. One was called the Materials Processing Center, and I was the director of that for quite some time. It focused on processing of materials, but processing again, so how you make them, but in the context of understanding how they perform in systems and optimizing that. The Center for Materials Science and Engineering was an NSF-supported center and tended to focus more on more fundamental research. And the Center for Materials Science and Engineering also was responsible for supporting the tool set for much of materials research, especially electron microscopy and techniques like that. So together we do all of that. Okay, the Merge Center has this industry-focused, processing-focused component, and also this more basic science component. It has tools for research, and one of the reasons we did the merger is because of the complementarity of the activities, so that we could do all those things better together. Another reason to do that is because of the new facility that's being built and will open this year, called MIT Nano. And MIT Nano is an amazing activity on the part of MIT. It's a new building that'll have 2 floors of clean room for processing materials in the micro and nano scale regime. It will have advanced imaging tools, electron microscopy, probably some X-ray analysis, spectroscopies, probe microscopes like atomic force microscopes, and it will focus on materials and structures at a small scale. But one of the things to understand about the field of materials science and engineering is there are people who work on materials research spanning from quantum devices, quantum mechanics of very small bits of material to concrete, okay? So very fundamental studies to very practical studies. How do you make roads so that they last and they don't require a lot of energy to make or maintain? So materials, even large materials. So materials have structure at a huge range of length scale, atomic, and you know, a material in use like a quantum material could be just a few atoms to huge. If you think of roads as being a system, then we're talking about length scales of kilometers or buildings. So all of those materials have structure. They have structure at multiple length scales too. They have atomic structure. This example I talked about earlier where you have metals typically have many grains. They have sizes that are composed of tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of atoms, but that's still pretty small. And then you can have single crystals, such as the ones that are used, the silicon wafers that are used in microelectronics, where the structure is that there is no structure on the scale of a 300 millimeter diameter wafer that's cut from a crystal that's 5 feet long. Okay. Concrete has structure at the nanoscale that affects its performance and also affects the cost of making it, and also how long it'll last. And so some of the tools in the MIT Nano facility will that really, it's MIT Nano. The focus is nano, but nano problems are relevant not just to small things but big things as well. And so the Materials Research Laboratory is going to be very highly collaborative with this new activity. Of course, not all materials problems are at the nanoscale, but many of them are. So the Materials Research Laboratory is in a building that's right next door to this new laboratory, and we're going to be joined at 4 levels, and So there's going to be an opportunity to really take advantage of this facility that really is going to offer unique capabilities, not just within MIT, but within academia in the U.S., and not just the U.S., but also it's a very special facility.